Hey, Print Hustlers, welcome back to another episode of Printavo's Print Hustlers podcast. I'm your host, Bruce from Printavo. We've got our co-host, Stephen Farragut out of Campus Inc., and our very special guest, Jonathon Overmeyer out of Golden Press Studio.
What's up, guys?
Jonathon, how you been doing?
Good, man. Really good.
You guys have just been cranking out videos.
Dude, it seems like that's all we do anymore. I don't even know if I print shirts anymore. That's how much video stuff we've been doing.
I was creeping on your website and YouTube channel yesterday, and I'm just like, holy cow! Like, you guys have a whole production team, or is it?
Yeah.
How do you guys do that?
I have two guys. They're both extremely talented individuals. Everything you see on our YouTube channel and everything you just see social media wise, what we do, it's those guys. I print, run the business, try to look pretty in front of the camera. But yeah, all the fanciness, that's all them. So.
Wow. So Jonathon, why don't you just give listeners at home and people watching just a little background about your shop? If you haven't already followed you, just let everyone know what you're all about.
Yeah. So coming up in December, will be Golden Press Studios 5 years of business. Started out, of course, in my 2-car garage, actually a few blocks away from this studio, my current studio. Started out really been kind of part of the t-shirt game. The typical story. I was in a national touring band. I was the manager, dealt with merchandise, ordering t-shirts. I knew the ins and outs. I felt like when I could call my current screen printers in the past, like I knew the language, like they're like, oh yeah, you kind of seem like you know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Screen fees, that's fine. 10, whatever, like, whoa, okay. Yeah. You know what you're talking about. It was just kind of entered, kind of a part of the world. But, about 5 years ago, I was, working my full-time job, which was a screen printer, or not a screen printer, a window, worked for a buddy of mine for quite a while, and he was just kind of like, hey man, like I know I can't have you cleaning windows for like ever, like you're too talented. What do you want to do? And it was like that's how it kind of all started, was just a quick question of like, what do you want to do? And I just mentioned to him, like, man, I've been really looking into the screen printing world, and just I love creating stuff, love just kind of ins and outs, working with bands and all of that. I was like, I actually think I can probably do that better. I was like, looking at local shops, and just it's like, man, I want to be able to provide a good quality shirt, and just a better service, and a totally different way of doing it. And so I started the side hustle, that became a very full-time hustle. As everybody knows, I don't know why we call it a side hustle, because it's absolute mayhem. Like you just have to learn how to screen print, and then you got to just get going. So I started screen printing business after my full-time job, also after having a brand new baby, which I don't suggest that to anybody. And started growing in clientele for about a year. And then my boss of my window cleaning company actually approached me. He's like, hey man, do you want to buy the window cleaning company off of me? Like, wow. It was a really, really good opportunity. And so I was like, hey, I might as well run 2 businesses. It's like one's not enough. So I took that on, and yeah, it was like year one. I was not, owning a business ever, not knowing, the ins and outs. And, within a year I was running 2 businesses, full time.
Wow.
So,
Are you still doing it? The window cleaning side?
oh man, that's such a sensitive question. No. uh,
What happened?
well, it's really not sensitive. I'm not, it's not that big a deal. COVID actually destroyed that business. But it was actually a really cool blessing in disguise. Like I really, like, probably within the last year, all my attention like went towards Golden Press Studio. I had, a few window cleaners that were out just doing the work. I was just doing the administrative, side of things, invoicing, getting, trying to collect money. And but all my focus and energy was towards Golden Press. And I was just it was that everyday battle. I was like, man, what if I like ended the window company and just like literally didn't have that, on my plate? How far could I go with Golden Press?
Jonathan, that's interesting you bring that up, because we'll put Bruce on the spot.
Okay. Yeah.
Bruce, you had another full-time job while you were running Printavo.
For a while.
For how long?
6 years or so. I was doing it part-time.
Well,
I was doing a lot of like UI design and some software development stuff, full time, and then doing this part time and just like taking calls after hours. And I mean, things got a little too intertwined at some points, and because it's like when you get a call during the day, right? It's like, oh, I'm not going to answer this. And then sometimes I would get a call right after I had a call, and I thought that it was somebody else, and I'd mix up. It was just like, it wasn't a smart situation to be in. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we have to give you shit, Bruce. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's interesting the balance though between those things and when to shift to one versus the other. Cause it just, I just find it very hard. Every time I think about something else, really, it feels very hard to dedicate full attention to both.
Yeah.
Or unless you realize, okay, one is really the focus, the other one's a little bit more of a hobby.
Yeah.
Or unless you have a really good manager, I feel like that's running the other one, and you're just kind of meeting with them occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jonathan, Golden Press, like, tell us about your setup. It's not like you have a crazy, huge setup. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so my studio is actually very deceiving to a lot of people. People think it's like kind of this industrial, like pretty decent size. Like, I don't know. People even, it's like, man, is that like a warehouse? Like, what is that? And then when I tell them it's literally a 1,200 square feet, like rectangle storefront right downtown Franklin. And my studio, where you see the photos and the printing and all that going on, that's like 600 square feet with added loft where I'm sitting right now, and where kind of like our, computers and, this couch is. So yeah, like we're just working out of 600 square feet. And people are just blown away by that. It's just, it's really pretty small. I have a space in the front that was, set aside for retail, and I wanted to, launch a brand and all that. And we're getting there, but we actually, things are kind of shifting to where we're actually just kind of expanding the printing, because that's what's happening right now. So
yeah. Now, Jonathan, when I went on your site, and I was kind of just like blown away by how much you guys focus on, the brand, how things look, the videos.
Seriously, yeah.
I mean, it is like,
it's
insane. I mean, shops will drool over seeing like the quality. Did you have that conscious decision when you started printing to be like, I need really killer video? How did that all come about? Because that's huge.
Yeah, man, that, so what happened with that was, so when Corey, my designer, photographer, that dude who does a lot of things around here, he was with me when it kind of all started. He shortly came after, and started just helping out in the garage, and started doing some designs. And we just made this valid effort that, like, when I came into the space, we get complimented on how our space looks. And, we spent, I spent like 3 months, Corey and I spent like 3 months, literally remodeled this entire place, head to, top to bottom. And like, we were in the middle of kind of remodel, but I had to start printing again just to do that weird transition from, garage to new studio now. And he was like, hey, man, I want to actually start taking really good quality photos of you printing, starting, do some flat lays of our prints after we're done with them. And he just started snapping some photos. I almost like didn't even realize he was like a photographer. But he was just like, I'm like, you take photos, and then he started showing me the stuff he was doing. And I was like, yeah, man, let's do this, because we wanted to beat the normal of like everyone grabs their iPhone, takes a photo of like a shirt on a platen and posts it on their Instagram. And it's not real fun to look at after a while, Corey was just, hey, I'm going to build this theme out in our feed that are, attractive photos that engage people to want to talk about, whether it's my equipment or my space, like they're excited because it looks so good. And so we started taking photos for about a year, pretty consistent, Monday through Friday, post every day, super consistent social media wise. We're also very particular on that, to have that, to create that just rhythm of, hey, this is what we do every single day. We post a photo and we try to create engagement and help out the screen printing community. About a year into that, I was like, hey, Corey, I want you to do a video because I'm really happy with how the space is looking. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, I don't do video, man. That's a whole new ball game. And I was like, I'm paying you, so you're going to do a video? So he started, he did some shots, and he actually hit up our videographer now and is like, hey, man, check out this video. Do you have any pointers? And Jared, he goes, yeah, it's about 25% done, man. And I was like, oh, it looks good. Let's post it, And then Corey kind of set up this deal of like, hey, you need to have a sit down conversation with Jared. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I'll pay him to come out and do like a legitimate video of the studio and just how things are and what we do. And it was actually, I remember the day, it was Labor Day last year, which is September. Met with Jared at Starbucks, and we had this conversation. I was like, hey, man, I want you to come out and do a video for me. And he goes, that's cool. I was like, I can charge you a lot of money to do a really good looking video, and people are going to forget about it in like a month. And he's like, or you could actually hire me and I could produce quality video for you on a consistent basis to cause engagement with your following. And he sold me right then and there. I hired him that day. He put in his 2 weeks notice at his job, and that's how we get this beautiful quality video. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was.
Do you think does it, so what do you think is the focus for it? Like, is it, it drives sales, or our longer term goal is to have a bigger YouTube channel, for example, and generate income there, or it's just something you're just more passionate about and really, really like doing?
Yeah. So it's a few different points. So we actually, that day when we had this meeting, we also sat down and created a game plan on not only do video for the studio, and like, dude, I get so jazzed on anything we do in here, just like, I love creating content to just show people how to either screen print or do design or something like that. Like, it's so much fun. It's so much rewarding. Like, if I didn't make any money off of Jared, I'd probably be pretty happy. But we created this game plan to not only do it for ourselves, but offer it to clients. So we're a complete branding company. That's what we tell people, to where we can design your company logo. We can screen print shirts for that. We can take photography, product photography for your clothing brand or company. We can do headshots for your company, and we can do video and content creation for all platforms. And so no joke, we still have the piece of paper somewhere in the studio. We wrote down this business plan that, no joke, within a year's time, like it was probably about 5 months after we created that, we started landing clients in that same business plan to where now
Were they
awesome.
They were current customers of you guys that you're printing for, or you started promoting this as a new thing?
Yeah, so we definitely used my network. So it was a lot of the churches and clothing brands and coffee shops. Like we pitch that to them now because I just have a lot of really good relationships with all my screen printing clients. And so after we started adding this, it was just like, yeah, of course, let's do video. And it slowly started sprinkling in. But up until, it was like probably half of this year, we started landing numerous monthly clients. So we have monthly retainer clients that we come out and we do a shoot day, and we create content out of that shoot day, photos, video. And we actually have six monthly retainer clients that we provide all the things that you guys see on our Instagram, our YouTube, our Facebook. That's what we provide for other clients also.
And when they go to order shirts, it's, hey, Jonathon, I need shirts.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think that's, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot, but one thing COVID has shown us is like to care less about the t-shirt. The t-shirt is like the byproduct of the services that you guys are doing.
It's so true. Yep.
And I mean, we had a student start doing our videos, and I ended up bringing him back. And now people are like, can he do video? And it's just so true.
Yep.
People want to emulate what you guys have made and your creativity and all that stuff. It's like so spot on.
Yeah.
Bruce is thinking about something real deep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting about that, right? Is the shirt is the bridge type thing.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely sounds like have crafted your own like route over there. I was just recording a separate video about how I felt video is just so important.
Yeah.
And continues to be more so. I mean, you've got the growth of TikTok. I feel like YouTube has just really exploded the last 5 years.
Bruce is a big TikToker
more
now.
So.
Yeah, he is.
Bruce is big.
We tried our first one, which was a lot of fun, but definitely took, I mean, like any video, you just see the last 5-10 minute result, but obviously takes way longer to record.
Right.
And same thing for a 30-second TikTok, as Farrig saw behind the scenes.
Yeah. No, that's so true with video. A lot of people don't, I'll just tell you, I'll be super transparent with you guys. I love the way we, create things and the way, the overall look of everything. What people don't understand is that it takes a lot for that to happen. I've experienced kind of that bottleneck in my business now is that, our biggest thing, we want to give back to the screen printing community. I mean, how does every screen printer, how do you learn? You jump on YouTube, you start just literally watching as many videos and gain as much knowledge as humanly possible. And now we're in this position to where we get to create that stuff and give it into the community, screen printing community. But we're trying to make it look better and try to flow and be captivating. But people don't realize that for us to do a video, like I have to set aside all bigger orders, and I have to pick the 25 shirt order, and I might print 5 of those shirts in a video, and that I just blocked off an entire workday to where I could have been cranking out hundreds of shirts, but literally I printed 5 total to get a video to give back to the community and help people out. That's what we want to do. So
what is that process like, even behind the scenes of for a shop that's like, I want to start creating videos? Obviously you guys have way higher quality, which you're setting aside all that time, but what does that look like if, for one video, if somebody wants to make, and it may not be for screen printing, but it could be for their customers, for example, or something like that.
Yeah. So, a real big thing that, I mean, I just never thought I would be having to think about these things on a regular basis. I'm like, yeah, just go in, burn my screen, print out my artwork, burn my screens, like get set up and print shirts. But now I'm having to Jared's like, hey, make sure you finish that outline tonight. I'm like, outline? Like, I don't want to go back to school, man. So I do an outline to talk about my, screen printing process so that we know what shots we need to get for the video and how it needs to line up. And it's just, there's a lot of back end stuff that we do just to make these videos look really good. And so sometimes it's, you also can't get everything done in one day. So you have to split up, for me, it's, hey, we want to talk about this type of screen printing process. So I have to either wait for an order to come in to that we do that, or I have to literally, hey, Corey, do the design because I want to do this. And so there's just so many steps. So many steps just to make that happen.
So Jonathan, if a shop is listening to this and they're not doing video right now, right? And video is a scary thing to go down because you're like, do I hire someone? Do I try to do it myself? Do I go buy a camera? Do I just watch a bunch of Gary Vee videos?
Right.
What do I do? What advice would you give shops that have not gotten into video at all and are trying to think about doing it? What's some tangibles that they could get?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'll give some brutal honest is, if you don't think you can do it at if you're wanting to get into video, it's, my question to you is, one, are you willing to spend money on a camera? Two, are you willing to spend the necessary time to learn about the camera? Because, it's not just as simple as, hit record. And then also, are you serious enough to learn, the software to be able to edit the footage and then the time put into that video? Are you willing to do all those things? If your answer is yes, crank on it, jump on it, go after it, just like, how we have to when we start screen printing.
Sure.
If you don't want to put in that time, hire someone. People love the way our videos look, but they also don't know that our, videographer has 15 years of experience,
right.
with, that's what you guys are seeing. You're not just seeing, oh yeah, guess what? We have the fancy cameras and we've also spent the money on the fancy cameras. But it's the story, we're trying to tell a story in each video. And that all comes from Jared's brain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Jonathan, one of the points you made is if you don't want to do it, find someone to do it.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing is I love making movies on iMovie and messing around and going back to my Windows Movie Maker days. My problem is I'm not consistent.
Yeah.
And I think something you said early on was, someone's going to make a video for you and it's going to get watched once, twice, 100 times, and it's never going to get watched again.
Yeah.
And I think, Bruce, this is something that you've been preaching for years, is it's about consistency and just getting content out there that's meaningful. Yeah. But Bruce, as you were starting to make videos, because you would record stuff and then you'd have someone edit it? What's a good hybrid?
We did it a little differently because I wasn't even thinking about the quality early on. It was just hey, we just need content out there. We want to position ourselves as helping shops.
Yeah.
We care about that, you guys. And so, we just got to get stuff out. All I knew is just record. I have the webcam on my laptop. I can record it. But I think, what's interesting is just that, I knew my strengths were not writing. And I also felt spending so much time editing the video was time I should have been doing other things.
For sure.
Because it just took so long.
Yep.
Um, so fortunately now there's Upwork, right? And you can find awesome editors that could do basic stuff.
Yep.
But I do feel like there's a level of, when your shop becomes your main focus, you should absolutely have somebody that knows what they're doing do something as what is your shop about, you guys,
Yep.
who you are, what you guys care about, kind of like nice visual things inside, even if it doesn't look good, like frame it so that it can, that's their job.
Right.
um but the consistent content is for sure hard.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, and especially the consistent, I was trying to do every day for a long time. That was just really hard.
Yep.
And then now a couple times a week, I think, is a good long-term thing. And then having somebody else do the editing and everything
Yep.
else.
Yeah.
But I
Because
think you develop it over time, right? Like, Bruce, you ordered me a Logitech camera and made me take videos like early on.
yeah.
They were awful.
Well, I was asking for other people because I was like, I mean, you're in the shop. I'm not in a shop. Like, I'm
Right.
passionate about the business stuff, marketing stuff, but you're like in there and know that details.
But
about-
now you travel with your camera and you do your shop tours and like you'll do
You're
some
right.
high quality stuff.
Yeah.
You'll do some just like but I think it's you're out there. I think the one side to err on is you don't want to come across as like if you're really bad at it, right? Like some people will just like take videos of like selfies of them like just talking to the camera every day, and like I don't know, if I'm a customer, I don't know if I want to see that every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
I don't know, Jonathan. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm with you on that. So I look at it at two different angles. I'm totally a Gary V guy. Like think of it like this. So this is my advice to people watching this is that the quality really at the end, quality of the video, it doesn't matter. The quality of the content is what matters. And so if you guys are, if I pull out my iPhone and just do, set my phone up on a tripod, and I talk about, hey, this is the benefits of using this piece of equipment in the screen printing shop, and it brings value to my audience looking, that, people are, that's what is going to make that video be seen or shared, all over the place. I can have a really cool, nice looking 4K video that people can watch. And if it's just me talking about, something pointless, it's not going to matter. Our thing is we're trying to give something extremely valuable and make it and have it look absolutely amazing so that they'll come back and look at the next one. And so that's kind of like our double hit is that and then the most important thing, like is consistency. That is the number one thing that we say constantly in the studio, which, we started our YouTube channel this year, beginning of this year in January. And we kind of like threw a video here and there. We were doing like a shop vlog just to show people what we were doing, doing some goofy videos. We're goofy guys. We like having fun at the studio. I will I'll specifically take time out of our very busy day to film a ridiculous video about whatever. Yeah. But what we realized is that actually just last month, we just integrated it into our schedule, and we're like, we're going to do it, and it's going to hurt, and we're going to have to put in some extra time, but we'll make it happen, is posting a video on YouTube every Wednesday. So think about all the other things we're doing for clients, t-shirt orders, and then we're going to make time to film a video so that, my videographer has, all the footage by Monday so he can start editing on Monday, edit on Tuesday, and post it on Wednesday. So for consistency purposes. And ever since we've done that, we've seen our YouTube channel grow. Engagements, there, we're able to really help, screen printers out, answering questions, trying to bring value. So consistency, it's huge. I will be that guy to say, it's like, as long as you guys are giving something valuable in your videos, I feel like people will continue to come back and watch it.
There's an interesting concept there of when you're switching from one kind of trajectory to the other, there's this sacrifice of short-term gains, right? I mean, literally, it just is money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of printing and turning around jobs faster, but saying, okay, hey, this lane for us is the better, what we think long-term and what we value and what we like doing. Taking that hit now for the longer gain later. It's like the same thing for us going from part-time to full-time.
Yep.
It's like, well, shoot, I have all this awesome, I'm making good money here. Things are going fine, but this isn't the path I want to go down.
Yeah, I made that sacrifice pretty early on. I mean, when we moved in the studio, I was just like, you think when you go from your garage to a commercial spot, you're like, dang, I have overhead now, like it's like, man, that sucks. I actually had money when I was back in the the 2-car garage. For me, that wasn't the problem. As soon as we got into the studio and we started taking nice photos, and just like our orders ramped up ridiculously. So that wasn't the hit. The hit was, and my guys still remind me of, is when I hired my videographer, it's basically like I started 5 new businesses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the photography is literally one. The video is literally a completely separate one.
Designs
and screen printing is obviously another separate one.
But you're also diversifying yourself too, right? Because during the pandemic, like if T-shirt orders are down and businesses are thinking critically about how they're going to survive, and you're offering these services, that it might be a future that like that's what you guys do, And I think. Someone told me it's like every year you're going to make a couple key decisions that are going to change your business or like the trajectory of it.
Yep.
And like those inflection points, they're really important. You talk about like when you hired your videographer, and you don't realize them in the moment. But I think shops can't, they can't be scared of that, especially during these times, to reinvent themselves or to just try something completely different. I mean, we've been doing it with masks. All of us have been doing it,
right?
But
Ferric, how do you guys do a lot of video too? Not obviously screen printing related, but more for your customers. What is the strategy there?
Yeah, so we try to just storytell and highlight as many of our customers as possible, to just talk about the unique experiences. So we highlight the relationship, what we value out of the relationship, why the partnership is so great, what we've learned, along the way, and what we're doing for them. And because every client, like, when you get challenged by a new client to do something, you're like I always think about it like a Pokemon. You're going to the next level or something. Bad example. You're like, ooh, I can do this now, And there was an instance where we were doing gift boxes for graduation because all the students were, back home, and we put confetti in the boxes to like make it a nice surprise. And we did a video on that, and I've gotten more requests for confetti and gift boxes because people are like, oh, that's so cool, you can gift box. Yeah, I bought confetti from Uline, I put it in the box before the shirt. So for us, we try to highlight our customers and just processes that we have that people might not know about. But then I think the part about it is once you have them, they're in your Rolodex. You can send them to your customers and say, hey, we did this for that customer, we did that for that customer. Because there's so many unique experiences you have with them. Another thing we've been doing is sending, like we developed like a new type of mask, and we sent our videographer out with the clients to like shoot it in their own environment. So we could actually get footage of them using it, talking about it. And Jonathan, kind of like you talk about, going out with your clients, engaging with them, being on their turf. And they, they're going to be loyal to you forever for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So.
Do you link to it, with sales types of emails, or is it really a lot more of like a showcase of here's our work?
Are you asking me, Bruce?
Yeah.
So what we do is what we'll do is me, Adam, and Jeff and Lakin will sit and we'll we'll try to brainstorm like 30 or 40 ideas and like look through Printavo, find unique orders, and just try to find like, can we make case studies out of them or cool examples? We'll record them all, and a lot of times we'll try to record a lot of them in one sitting. So like I'll change my shirt 10 times. But then we'll try to put them into different campaigns. So, you know, on LinkedIn, we'll maybe use like the professional one, or if we're highlighting a student, you know, maybe that's on our Instagram, or we're putting them in email campaigns. We don't do a ton of Facebook ads and stuff yet because it's a scary road to go down. But my goal is that we have just like so many different types of videos that we can use in different situations. I don't know, Jonathan, what about you guys? How do you guys do it?
Yeah, so we've actually, up until this point, when people see just the overall quality of our stuff, they're just like, I want that. Like, I'm just going to hit them up because I want that, or I want them to be able to do that for my company. So overall presentation and just that time and that sacrifice invested into what we do, it's already getting kind of that return, because people, when people see it, they're like, man, I want to hire those guys out. But like a really cool example is you know, Corey, he goes out and takes photos for a coffee shop just down the street every month. They're on a monthly, you know, retainer. And he just goes out, shoots the photos, comes back and, you know, edits the photos. And we're literally just creating really nice looking photos for their Instagram feed. And but of course, like when we met with them, we were like, hey, we do video, we do, you know, shirts and, you know, all these other services. And they're like, yeah, we just really want photos. Like, we don't want video, you know, at this time. And so what we did is I think it was yeah, it was actually our last vlog that we posted on our YouTube. What we did was I told Jared to go and do kind of like the behind the scenes of what Corey does, taking photos at that coffee shop. And I was like, hey, Jared, I want you to film that so we can put it in our vlog. And so for me to send my video guy out there to do that, it benefited us. It, you know, let our viewers, you know, see the behind the scenes of what we do. But in our vlog, we did this nice little section where he does some nice B-roll over, you know, the coffee shop that all we do is take photos, right? And then what I did was, after that vlog was posted, I sent that link to the owners of that coffee shop, and they're like, we need you guys to do video. Like, because we couldn't get them to think it, you know, in their head, like they had to visually see it. And so I say I'm pretty confident, just within sales of stuff. It's just like, I can look at any business and be like, you know, we say this a lot around here, is that, you know, basically people are hiring us for screen printing, photography, design, videography. Those are just tools to fix problems in businesses. And so like, what's your problem? Is it getting customers in the door? You know, for like, think about a coffee shop, you know, it's like, you know, how do they get people to consistently come in to buy their pastries or coffee and this and this? They have to see it. And they have to see it in a really good quality too. That coffee shop that I was talking about, it's funny, we've just seen a lot of testimonial, or like they've already experienced so many testimonies of our work working for them. So like Corey took a nice pretty photo of a pastry and they posted on their social media, and someone said, I saw that pastry and I love that pastry. I'm going to go into Maine and Madison. They didn't buy that pastry, but it brought them into just for them to buy coffee though. So it's literally, it's just that engagement. And so we're able to come in and show people, hey, we can take really good quality photos and video, and it will bring people, it'll bring business, and it'll create engagement, because that's what we all want.
And I think that's what us as printers do for our clients on their apparel.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
when a client gives you their logo, their brand, whatever they want, you want it to look so good so that their peers and their audience are, you know, raving about it.
Right.
So It's just really cool how you've transitioned that to your other work, and it's working for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just even made it so easy to say yes.
Yep.
Right. It's
Right.
just like, here it is.
Yeah.
Just one click, say yes,
Yeah.
or let's move forward. How do those monthly packages work with some of your clients? Are like, is it you're just constantly sort of their marketing team in a way, and then you charge depending on, I want photos, videos, shirts, or depending on
Yep.
whatever combo they want?
Yep.
Bruce is trying to redo his pricing, so yeah, go for it.
I'll send you an email. No, no. So that's an excellent question, and I'm like, we've done the trial and error. We thought, hey, this is how we should do it with our monthly, clients, and then we very quickly figured out, because we kind of came across as like, hey, yeah, like we're a marketing company, like we can help market your business, right? We found out very quickly that we're not a marketing company. We are a branding company that, because the branding is so good, it will market your business. Like, does that make sense?
Oh, do you have people that are like, can you help me with SEO and email campaigns? And you're like, Facebook ads, and you're like, you're taking classes at night to try and teach them the next day.
Yeah, that was our problem.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like that thing of like, yeah, we need to see our, ROIs, right? Yeah. It's just like, no, like we're here to make really good stuff, and we're doing, these steps and, these plans that we've created. It's worked for us. It will work for your business. And yeah, we just how we come to each individual client. We also had a problem of like, people were like, yeah, send us over, a price sheet and this and that. And we're like, I have never sent over a price sheet for screen printing for all the years, because I'm just like, every single screen printing order is 100% different. However way you look at it,
right,
it's 100% different. And so we were like, man, let's not try to fit this in a cookie cutter box of like, hey, if you pick tier 1, you're going to get a lot of engagement. If you pick tier 2, you're going to get a lot of engagement. Like it was just this whole thing of like, hey, we're going to give you 3 tiers. You pick from one, and because it's the middle tier, you're going to get middle results. Instead, what we did was, our overall goal is for what we do for that business is to get them more business so that we can get more money from them. Like, oh yeah, we just do, photos. We want your video. We want your screen printing. We want your design work. We want it all. And so what we did is we come to each client. We have a beginning of the month. We have a strategy meeting with them. And we ask them, what's your goal for this month? What do you want this content to do for you this month? Do you want us to, film a video, so like a hire video? Are you looking to hire people? So let's create a video that is engaging, talks about your culture of your business, and someone's going to see that video and be like, man, I want to work for them. They seem awesome, And that's our job, is to make that video so engaging and so like, I have to hit them up. And so,
Sure.
So we take it very serious. We do a strategy meeting with every one of our clients, and we're like, hey, what are we trying to accomplish this month? And then as far as, what we pitch to each client, we tell them, hey, we need to land on a price point, but we're not going to lock you in to this is how it has to look every single month for this price. That price that we want every month, we want you to pay that price. But if we need to shift and do some more photos this month, opposed from photos and a video, let's do that. If you need more video, let's do that. And we try to just like split it up and even it out across the board to fit the needs of our client that month. And since we started doing that, it's been awesome. Like we get everything taken care of in our strategy meeting, and that we get that game plan, and they feel value and they see results from that, opposed from, yeah, we're just going to take a bunch of photos every month. You have to pay this every month, and that's what you get. It's like, no, we actually care about your business. We want it to succeed just as we want our business to succeed,
That's awesome. I think, man, I'm so passionate. I feel like with how much video really penetrates into the market. And just because there's others that are out there doing it doesn't necessarily mean that like the space is taken. It's like you still like people just constantly watch video. It creates such a really cool connection. And then the high quality is more of the cherry on top.
For sure.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead, Farrag.
No, I was gonna say, like, if a shop is like nervous about it, like there's a couple apps on the phone that like put together pretty clean videos.
Yeah,
And
Splice.
Splice is really good.
On your phone.
And it might even be a good start to take a video of a job running for your customer. So if you have a customer you like a lot, or like a job you're really passionate about, say, hey guys, just wanted to show you guys your job in action. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing right here. Here's it running from screen to screen. Here's the finished product. Here's the ink. Thanks so much, guys. Like, I appreciate it a ton. You send them that as just to them.
Oh, they're pumped.
They're pumped. I remember when I subbed out my first digital squeegee order, and Sean sent me a video of it, and I was waving it around. I was like, look at this. We can sell this now. So I don't think it has to be tough. I think it just has to be meaningful and engaging.
Yeah, you're right. That does create such a strong bond there, right? And I think that also helps people get away from price as such, like I'm paying X for Y shirt. As in, this is a lot more of the customer experience that you're going through. Which people then they don't forget about price, but it's less of a bottom line factor.
Absolutely. One cool thing that's happened with us is that we have a lot of our customers just be blown away that they get a photo of their shirt that I screen printed on our feed. Like they're like, whoa, like that happened. Like you took photos of my shirts being made, and like they're just blown away with that. And like think of like a clothing brand. It's like how do you sell clothing? You get it out to the public in really cool, creative ways. But yeah, what we do is, we just take some, photos of their shirts being made or me folding up their shirts, and they're able to take that photo, and like, we don't charge them for photos or anything like that. We just document, our daily process, and we send over like 2 to 3 photos to like, their email. We'll send them like a Google Drive or whatever, and they are ecstatic about it. They're like, hey, can we put this on our website? Can we, use it for e-commerce? Can we, post this on our Instagram? Like they're excited about it. And, like we get business just because of how, just because of that, because we take, we had a clothing line, literally, no joke. I was going down the Instagram rabbit hole, like just following, some clothing brands and this and that. And I found this brand, and I was like, I'm going to follow them. I liked a few of their photos. I was like, man, I really dig their stuff. I got an email from them a week later saying, hey, let's talk. I love what you guys are doing. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll, print their shirts. I mean, that'd be really awesome. And they're like, it was like a few emails in, they're like, yeah, we're switching all of our screen printing over to you because you guys literally, like, we're able to see our ideas in our head and our designs be created, like,
for sure.
And that was enough for them to totally switch all their screen printing over to us. Like,
what do you think? I mean, yeah, that you're right. I mean, it's literally like like Yelp reviews for a restaurant, right? Right, where you see it immediately and you make such a big judgment just on the visuals of it very quickly, and so positive. What do you guys think is next for Golden Press?
Ooh,
like, what's the longer term? You made this huge pivot.
When's
it's
the
more
rock coming
branding
in?
focused. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I feel at this point, man, one, I'll just tell you this. I come into work every day now and I'm like, what am I even doing? I like, there's just so many things are changing all at the same time. And so I feel like of course, 2020 is the pivot year. I feel like I'm pivoting every single day. Like, but, me and the guys, we've just had a lot of conversation, and we're just at this point to where like this is our end game. So we're all in, all the chips, are on the table. This is what we want to do. We want to, we want to print shirts. We want to do cool designs. We want to take really cool photos and do video and create content for the screen printing, community to help people. Um, In game is I want to bump up a little bit. Like this studio, it's awesome, but we're realizing we're outgrowing this 600 square feet, 1,200 square feet, in the aspect of all the little things people don't think about, like the guys want to record a design tutorial in the front room, but my squeegee rubbing across the screen is making echoes in the background of the video.
That's why you need a rock.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you do about that? Okay, well, I'll go do something else and not print these shirts while you guys finish that video. Like we care about that little stuff. So like we actually need a new spot, a new place to where we can actually have you know, 3 different studios, like a photography studio where Corey can shut off all the lights and set up really good lighting to get the photos he wants for products and all that. And same thing for Jared to do voiceovers and to film tutorials. And
Yeah.
so we need a little bigger space. And currently that's in the game plan. I signed a 3-year lease for a new 3-year lease for this spot. So that gives me 3 years to find a new building. We're going to buy a building if it pops up, but I'm done with renting. I want to buy a kind of a headquarters to where we do everything. But my end all goal, like when I started this business, and it's still the same. It's shifted a little bit, but the core of it is I didn't want to start a screen printing shop that like I was like boom, huge warehouses, like just 5 rocks going all at the same time. Like that was never part of my idea. My new idea is we need a headquarters to where we can film, do all the stuff we do in in designated areas to where we're not interfering in whatever what what each person's doing that day. But my overall goal is still to I want to create 100 golden presses. So like I want 100 small shops that were like the umbrella over all of them. But I want to create opportunities for people to, if they're interested in the screen printing, for them to be underneath our umbrella and create an income
Franchise.
to create an income for a family. So I think of the reason why I wanted to start screen printing and like I wanted to start this business was I wanted another income coming in. I wanted to start a family. I wanted to do all these things, and I just didn't think I could do it on my my income coming in. So I was like, man, I want to create a job that I can go in and do what I do and love what I do and actually provide for my family. So I want to be able to create the same opportunity for someone to do the exact same thing I did. But the cool thing is they get a little jump start and they get to, be attached to our name and be underneath our, our protection, our instruction, to where they're not going into it blind,
That's huge.
That's always
That's
been the
awesome.
goal. Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
We're gonna have to do a follow-up episode on the progress of that after too.
Yeah.
We're gonna link down below. I want everybody's gonna have to go check out Golden Press Studios. Give them a subscribe on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram. because you guys just have some awesome, just helpful tips to be able to get people going. And there's not a ton of that. There's definitely a handful. So, yeah, Jonathon, thanks so much for being able to share your story with us today. We're going, I mean, this is just really cool to be able to see shops be able to use shirts as a bridge to their next step. And I really appreciate being honest and giving some good tips as well for people trying to get into video.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. Yeah,
and you're not too far away. We'll have to when this is all over, we'll all have to get together.
We'll have to do a shop tour.
We'll have to do something. So cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much, Jonathon. We appreciate it a ton.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Later.
See ya.